Boom. What up? Jeff, Roger, what's going on? We hanging at the shop here. Saturday, is it? It's a decent day out, not too bad. Got some breaking news. Heard about that shaker up in Alaska. 7.0. Wow. They have prayers for all the folks up there. Who do we know? We know Jackie, Richard, who hops in here. He's out in Anchorage. We'll take a look a little bit at some things that I got pertaining to that. But what else is going on? We're just hanging out here getting ready to... Oh, all right. So you must have the day off then, Jeff. Sounds nice. Enjoy. Cheers, brother. We're just going to be hanging out here for a bit. Aloha, Urso. Welcome on in. Yeah, we'll see who pops in here. But yeah, anyone hear about that earthquake? Pretty wild. We had one here in Northern California, Humboldt County. What was it? Last year, was it? Or was it earlier this year? It was a 7.0 also, I believe, 7 point something huge. They get earthquakes up that way. I have felt earthquakes in that region before. And of course, here in Southern California. Yeah, we had one recorded here at the shop. Also, we got the footage, the CCTV footage from the shop, and it was a little shaker. Since then, we've been meaning to reinforce some of the rigs here, and we still haven't done that. Gonna have to remind my brother now that we're talking about this. And yeah, let's have a look here really quick. Let's see where. Yeah, we got some news here. Let's see, where'd it go? Well, first of all, there's this channel here on YouTube. We'll take a look really quick. And it looks like an app at the bottom there, Raspberry Shake. Raspberryshake.org. But that's not the name of the channel. I'll give you the name of the channel in a second here. And it looks like, so it says 6.6, 6.5. I don't know why it's the numbers are going up and down there at the top left of the screen. And greetings. Welcome on in, Michelle. Hope you're having a lovely weekend. We are here at Sky's the Limit. Got a little business in, so I thought I'd go live, say what's up. There is a new Bigfoot report added to the Bigfoot mapping project. We'll have a look at that, have a little read at that. And again, big earthquake up in Alaska. Okay, Urso says because of the aftershocks. Roger that. Scary stuff. I don't know if there's any, sometimes when there's earthquakes in different places, we'll get notified of we'll get tsunami warnings and stuff like that. I haven't heard anything like that for us, but I wonder for them out there or anywhere nearby, or maybe across maybe Russia. I know recently there was some big Russian earthquakes. So this is another reminder of some of these big earthquakes happening recently. I think there was 2 big ones out of Russia around the same magnitude. And I think we had gotten some tsunami warnings here on the West Coast. And let's see the name of this channel here. Anyone interested is Global Quake on YouTube. And it says magnitude 7.0 earthquake strikes Alaska and Yukon territory December 6, 2025. Heidi Pop, bless up. Welcome on in. Cheers to you. We're just posted here at the shop. Have a little break right now. I felt comfortable enough to hit that live button. Hopefully, y'all hitting that like button. We're just going to hang out here a little bit. I thought maybe we'd take a look around the West Coast. There's some live feed cameras happening in some of my favorite places, and they might be yours as well. And what else? We got a Bigfoot report. Yes. And it's out of Cali, West Coast. Yes, off the Bigfoot mapping project. We'll have a little look at the BFROs, see if anything's popped in there, but it hasn't since the last reports we've touched on. And yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying the weekend. It's been pretty smooth so far. We had an event next door at the Catalyst last night. I'm not sure how long my brother stayed, but I know he had some other business and came back, opened up shop at around 10, and who knows what time he stayed till. But yeah, looks pretty good. We'll have to look at the inside. Sometimes after these events, you never know. We're gonna need the extra cleanup crew. Have we shared this? I think we shared this in I think it was a post. Yeah, it's the playing cards. Last night with a smoke and scan. Actually, there was one speed chase last night, but it wasn't broadcasted. Smoke and scan, the master of speed chases and streaming on YouTube, one of my favorite channels. He also sells I guess baseball cards, basketball cards. I seen there was ham radio cards. Anyone collect ham radio cards out there? Man, when I went to Culver City High, I went there for a year and I had a ham radio class, and our teacher was from the era of ham radios. Oh my goodness. And the kids in there were wild. You know, we had kids of all flavors, you know, from black to white, brown, everybody, you know, it was a mixture of kids. So it was super cool. And it was cool going to school, you know, closer to the beach. Then eventually I went to Hollywood High. That's a whole other story. But yeah, the ham radio class, there were some kids that would clown hard. It's an interesting term that we used to use back then, clowning. Should bring that back. I haven't heard it as much, and they used to, man, and I don't know if the teacher would, if he even bothered him, maybe because he's taught for so long, but they gave him hell. Give me 1 second. All right, that was quick. Someone looking for my brother. I said try a little later. He should be popping up a little later, hopefully. Give me some backup out here. It's Saturday. Yeah, we've had some pretty good traffic here. Business has been not bad, blessed. So thankful for that. And yeah, we'll get into some more shop stuff. We're doing a giveaway here at the shop. Yeah, it's a skateboard. I thought it was a complete deck. I mentioned a complete deck, but it's not. We'll get into, I got some more details on it. A little more details. Anyway, so yeah, they used to give the teacher hell. It was bad. Like, yeah, I wouldn't act like that in class. And I wasn't, you know, the greatest of students as far as grades. I messed around a lot, you know, doing my own thing. Hip hop music, hanging out with friends, girls, and all that stuff. Herb, for sure. Partying. But anyway, yeah. The ham radio class, they tortured them, and now I wish I would have paid a little more attention. I couldn't. It was like these guys were just causing so much stuff. It was hilarious. There's another dude in our French class too. Super cool thing is that that was over at Hollywood High. I had my brother for French, So that was cool. I never really went to school with my brother like that, but at one point in high school, we both had a French class, so that was fun. Anyone ever have the same class with your siblings in high school? You're bringing the you're bringing the gestures back, or yeah, why not? Someone's got to do it. Yeah, Jeff is in the OC, and Jeff, I've always pronounced your last name, I think, incorrectly. Albillar. How would I say it? Hablar? Albillar. Let's get that right. I read it the other day. I was like, hold up, my dyslexia was kicking in. I was like, damn, I've been saying Jeff's name wrong, I think. Urso. Man. My sister would push my oh yeah, classic, right? Push you into the lockers. That happened to me once at Hollywood High, and it was with some now they're two. I don't know what's up with those particular cats, but it was some dudes. We knew of each other, we're just like different crews. And one time in the hallways, they pushed another homie, their homies, into me just to like start some shit, to start some and yeah, I never did anything. I was just more like, what's this about? Like, this, I guess, what's up? But later on we ended up becoming friends and stuff like that, and it's kind of weird. And then two of those out of that group actually became a pretty successful hip hop group known as the Aesthetics, and they used to run with People Under the Stairs, another super well known underground hip hop group, and R.I.P. Double K 1111. Yeah, one of my favorite groups, and yeah, so it was super cool to see that happen from that group and stuff, and yeah, just knuckleheads being knuckleheads and stuff. So much love. At the time, I was very confused. I was like, oh, it's just like some fighting stuff was going on. You can speak hillbilly and Buckeye. That's about it. Hey, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. There was something else we were pronouncing. They were talking about pronouncing correctly, and I guess a bunch of people mispronounce it or don't pronounce it properly or correctly. Am I saying that right? A swirly with a topping from the sawdust from janitor closet. Hmm. Uh-oh, we got another one in the OC. Binksy, what up? Yeah, peace to the OC. I was talking about we could be very territorial out here. Some people be like, oh yeah, the OC or Ventura or up north. Nah, I love California all around, wherever you're from. Much love to Cali and beyond. I love the other states too. We get hated on a lot. And you have a reason. We won't get into that. Tina C. Someone hold her beer. Are you drinking beers, Tina C? Jeez. What time is it? Well, it is 2:30. Back in the day, I would have been started. I'm getting the little spinning things here. Uh-oh. We're back. What up? Let's get into this Bigfoot report before anything else. I bet that. Oh, here we go. I knew it. That article was going to pop up. Yeah, I also had this on the Alaskan earthquake. Tina C, did you hear about that? Hopefully your peeps, everyone's peeps up in Alaska are doing well. And we'll see if Richard pops in here. Again, Jackie, prayers to you, girl. Much love to you. And super cool. You've been posting some vids lately. I think some new shorts over with Jackie. And she's up in Alaska. right. A lot of Bigfoot. So I still have not checked out Sasquatch America, which is David Paulides' new documentary on the Squatch. And I'm super interested. Might just pay it and check it out. Anyone seen it in the chat yet? Uh-oh, what did Tina say here? Let's see, let's have a look. So look, little green new dot there. There's my dot. Got to remember to put me up when I'm showing things. I like to at least put myself in a circle. Better than a square, right? I don't know. Let's see. Looks like someone's coming in. All right. This is going to take a few minutes. Y'all light another one in the chat. Michael, welcome and cheers. We'll be right with you. All right. Yes, sir. Yeah. The homie came through right now. Had a bless him with something right quick. I got him. I got you. So yeah, Cali, the green dot there, some of these blue dots we've read in the past live streams. So if you're interested in me reading some Bigfoot reports to you, check it out. Appreciate it. Don't forget to kick the like and kick on back right now. I'm do some reading for y'all. You hear Chernobyl is what? Really degraded because droned it last February. Really? I seen a documentary on Chernobyl and how the plant life is growing back. And I don't know. It's they say, who knows? It's probably, high radiation still. But hey, if plants and trees are coming back, they showed some of the buildings, how it looked gnarly. The trees are like growing inside the building and there's greenery and stuff. Wouldn't smoke that greenery out there. But there is a strain called Chernobyl. Yeah. It makes you go, woof. That's how I feel right now. Ooh, yes, indicas. Actually, we have one called horchata right now. Perfect for the east side of LA, homie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, brother Michael in the house. Humboldt. You're always going to be a Humboldt local there. Tuna Town, Humboldt County, in La Casa. The Chernobyl Family Channel is doing a series on the Red Forest right now. Whoa. Maybe post a link in the chat. I don't mind. Y'all could go check it out. We might even pull it up here. We're going to get into some squatchy business here right quick. Let's check it out, y'all. Now, I did take a little sneak peek earlier. We're going to zoom on in. And some of you could already tell it's on the east side of things. And along the sierras, las Sierras Nevadas. Ay, ay, ay. So I see a couple towns nearby. I see Tahoe National Forest. So I see Roseville. Anyone familiar with Roseville? I know I've passed through. So it looks like Sacramento is not too far from there. Elk Grove, where my Sac heads at? Deb from Sac. Ooh. Stockton a little further down there. Yikes, let's get out of there. Y'all heard about that deadly shooting out there? Rappers involved and all that. I've been checking that out. Made big news, big waves. But anyway, we're going to head a little further north. There's Yuba City. Yuba 5 missing persons case. Super cool. Fascinating, I should say. Super cool breakdowns of different people that have gone into that Yuba 5 mystery. And I do recommend, what is it? What's the name of the channel? It'll come to me. It's downloading. I'm downloading files right now. All right, we're going to check out what this report says. It says 6:15:16, so it's a bit of a throwback. 1 p.m. Whoa. Vocalizations. Yes, sir. And it says, describe your encounter. Was not a sighting. All right. But my wife and I met our butcher, haha, on the old Forest Hill Bridge, under the new Forest Hill Bridge, who had butchered, processed our homegrown hogs for meat. I don't do hog anymore, but at least they do their own homegrown. That's what's up. As we met to exchange our payment for our processed and frozen pork, I was transferring the boxes from his pickup bed into ours as my wife paid him and was conversing with him. Suddenly, there was a loud, long, howling scream that sounded very similar to the screaming in the YouTube video. Whoa. World's longest Bigfoot scream in Clipper Mills, California. Where's Clipper Mills? Anybody in the chat? Clipper Mills. And you know, this is very close to Grass Valley. Like I said, I was looking into the area there. Hear a lot about Grass Valley. We're just talking about grass. Here, the grass in Grass Valley is fire. And we have brother Joe Monk out there in the Sierras, in the hills of Grass Valley somewhere. Let's see. So is Clipper Mills anywhere near there? I'm wondering. My wife and our butcher both looked up and said, "What is that?" Now, really quick, could it be an actual creature? Could it be someone call blasting? You know? Y'all know what call blasting is, right?
Call blasting. Anyone?
Being a believer myself, I knew then what it was and told her, "We gotta go." Yikes. So we parted. Yeah, they're gonna come after the processed pork. So we parted ways. The scream was louder than the rushing rapids. Ooh, and that could be loud. In the river, under the bridge. So next to a river, next to a bridge. Taking notes. We were parked next to, and must have been either above and behind us on the steep mountain, or was in the thicket across the river watching us. Whatever it was close. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh, there's quite a bit more here. Let's see. Additional comments. Yeah. Whoa. There were no other people around us that day. Almost seemed like some other kind of deal. I pay attention to my surroundings wherever I go and noticed no other vehicles parked in that area, nor saw any people walking, hiking down under the lower bridge at the river. The lower bridge at the river, nor along the trails or service road under the Forest Hill Bridge. We were the only 3 people parked there at the time. That's why I immediately knew something wasn't right and hurried up with our meeting and left. The volume of the scream was louder than the rushing water of the river rapids below. Yes. And lasted between 15 to 20 seconds, longer than a human could howl, scream with our lungs. Additional comment number 2. Have noticed that there have been other experiences of hikers in the mountains around Forest Hill and Tahoe. Yes. Oh, yeah. Bigfoot loves Tahoe. Who doesn't love Tahoe? Whoops. Bigfoot's it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So it doesn't surprise me that we heard what we did where we were at. A Bigfoot could easily travel the mountain range or follow the North Fork or Middle Fork of the American rivers to get closer to Auburn. And yeah, that was a town that closest popped up to the sighting, Auburn. Let's have a little closer. There's Auburn State Recreation Area where the dot's at. Little like directly north of that is Grass Valley. We actually had a customer here from Grass Valley once. Met several humble heads also. Let's see, Yuba City, Live Oak, and then yeah, Tahoe right there, all up in the mix. I shared a Tahoe flick recently of the Queen and I over on the posts. Yeah, it was a throwback. We were out looking for Tahoe Tessie. Y'all know about Tahoe Tessie? Tahoe Nessie? What up? Genocide. Yes, light them up. Yeah, cool. We got some people familiar. Juanito in the house. Cheers to you, carnalito. I already told people they travel in the lava tubes. Word up. And I was checking out, we're going to skip on over. Thank you to the Bigfoot Mapping Project and thank you for whoever posted that report. I got to submit mine. Don't worry, Eric. Eric over at the Willow Creek Bigfoot Museum. I love you. I'm going to submit. He's been pushing me to submit my report. I got to do that. Part of my homework. I got several homework assignments. And like in high school, kind of turn it in late sometimes. Yes. Yeah, we're hearing more about that. And I heard so David Polite at Sasquatch America, he posted what was it? They did an after I guess a conference after the showing of the film of the documentary. And it was cool. They had who was it? Darn, I can't think of his name. One of my favorite Bigfoot investigators. And I don't know, he's still in the game. I seen a video recently where he was like Tom Powell. Yes, sir. Tom Powell. Yeah, one of my favorites. And I got his book, The Locals. And yeah, I like the way he's out there, Oregonian, straight up. So that should say it right there. Let's see. There are USGS mappings of all the lava fields in North America, and a lot of them have lava tube or lava field maps. Yeah, we're going to have to get into that because, we like maps. That's why I'm showing this map right now. Let's pop on over to BFRO. Yeah, because so in that conference and that talk, they were mentioning, because Tom Powell used to be part of BFRO, and who was from the Montana Vortex? What's that brother's name? And super cool that he has that spot and so much happens there. I've heard a lot about it. Who is it from? Is it Jim Myers, Montana Vortex, or is he from the Colorado? Somebody correct me. Someone in the chat. I'm baked. It happens. So we're going to take a look. Let's see. BFRO. And so they were mentioning the BFRO, if anyone didn't check that out. Very interesting talk. And how Tom and, excuse me, and the other brother, who I believe is Jim, got kicked out of the BFRO for certain things. And let's have a quick look here. Let's see. Recently, nope. So we did touch on these reports here. So this last Class A1, 2001 out of Mason County, Washington. And I think Genocide was just mentioning that. Yes, sir. Oh, it's right next to you. So let's see. Maybe she had a Genocide sighting. Is that what happened? Did she have a John? Yikes. No, that's super cool, Genocide. And any information you'd like to share, man, dude, I'd love to have you on here. We could talk about it. You could talk about your area. And do you think this reporting is did it sound legit? Because that's what they were discussing in that conference is the legitimacy of the reports, and how some of them have been edited. They keep out supposedly a lot of the weird, the orb stuff and different things that seem way too far out, and just keep it as like almost like an ape. We've heard about that, we've talked about that, but yeah, they brought that up during the talk quite a bit, and they went in on that. And we did read not too long ago a report off the BFRO of people reporting orbs. So they are either they're starting to post that, and maybe because people are like, yeah, they started feeling the heat over there and said, all right, we got to start putting this weird stuff. And yeah, so nothing new there. Thank you to the BFRO. Let's see, is someone coming in here? Gotta keep an eye on the shop. Kind of hidden behind the Pac-Man machine and next to the turntables. And on the turntables, the other night we played an Aesop Rock track, and I was just kind of messing with it a little bit with the volumes and stuff. And I was like, all right, and I was doing that in case for copyright reasons. And I did get let's see, someone just sent the message here. Is that Tina? I did get a message from YouTube, and it was due to that song. But they said, hold it, Dwarf. It's not a strike. It's not a strike at all. And it was different from these other ones, because I've gotten other ones that say, oh, it's not a copyright strike. And in that case, like, I think the creator keeps, I guess, all the revenue or whatever. It's all good, whatever. But then I seen, I was like, oh, so what? And this is off the new album that we played too. So, and I looked into it further, and yeah, and then I went into the library where you could purchase songs for YouTube videos and all that, and yeah, a bunch of his songs were on there, and I was like, oh wow. And he made, seems like, the new album and other tracks as well there where you could share the revenue and get the license on it, because I hear that's another way to prevent getting dinged and stuff like that, is if you could get the license and the permission from the whatever, and then you go ahead and put that in the description of your video. And so yeah, I was able to do that recently with one of the videos, one of the Bluff Creek longer videos, and yeah, it worked out. So super cool. I didn't know that. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. Just like back in the day, who remembers being able to message? Look at that. Our little sign pops up there. Our neighborhood watch sign. Is that a California thing? And I'm getting more messages, and I'm getting them on the phone, but not, I mean, on the computer, but not. Oh, there we go. Yes. Yes, Tina C. Yeah, we checked out a video, right? I think it was right before you popped on and everything. It was a YouTube video, and it had a map with, I guess you could say, what is it, the Richter scale, probably somewhere, because it's telling you the aftershocks, and numbers are going up and down and all over the place. Super cool, teched out map. And I appreciate you. And Tina C shares a whole lot of stuff with me. Feel free to share stuff. I seen who was it? Trying to get a hold of me. But anyway, who remembers sending messages on YouTube? Well, I hear it's coming back. Yes, DMs are coming back on YouTube. Are they back already? Has anyone been able to do it? And I'm glad, because I think it was a better way to connect with everyone. Seems like everyone was going off of YouTube when they took that away, and using like Instagram to be able to direct message people and all that. So I'm excited about it. And I thought it was a good move on YouTube. So send me a message. Brother Nighthawk, salute. Yes, sir. Welcome on in. Oh, there's the neighborhood watch. See the sign there? Is that a California thing, or do other states have that? They have that. The little criminal with it's got the red circle and the line through it. It's a classic. I remember that as a kid. There we go. I think this. Yes, Todd Gatewood. I think was trying to. I sent the message back to you, sir, and welcome in. And yeah, so look, there's different ways. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. And let's see, let's run through it. Oh no, like yeah, that's if you want to shop with me. Anyone want to shop with me? Let's see, what's this one? Sorry about that. All right, that's the Instagram. And get the Instagram, folks, if you're interested in this giveaway that we're doing. We showed the skateboard. It's a DGK. And to enter that, you could bring a toy of $10 value or $10 to join the raffle. And then we're giving away for $5 raffle. It's called the Black Book, and it's what artists use, and in the graffiti world too, a lot. You have people like sign your Black Book and you pass it around, or you could keep it personal and just fill it up yourself. But usually guys would pass it around, and if you hung around the right people, you'd get all the best artists to, do their art in your book. And so books like that would become valuable. I know a big artist back in the day. We were young at the time, and he was a well-known artist, even to this day, graph artist. And he had some of his Black Books back in those days. That was like the late 90s, I think it was, stolen from him. So it's like, dude. But I see why, there's value in that. And then that's the smoke shop, y'all. We'll get back to that. So there's a number there, Senor Todd. Catch me on Peel Twitch. And we are live on Twitch right now, y'all. Twitch, X, Instagram, TikTok. There's Kick. And the TikTok's weird. It's weird. I got this. It shows me that I'm on there, but I don't think it's like on my page. So maybe we are. There's the Discord. Oh yeah, like Patreon, and that's my Instagram there. Email that I need to probably check. It's a different email. That's a tube. And then that's what's up. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, like I said, I'm not too hard to get. If you're in Cali, if you're in SoCal, if you're in LA, you could drop on by the shop here. Join the raffle. Pick up some of this new water we have on deck here. Look at that. Happy about this. Got the Saratoga. I see and I hear they be giving it out at the Gucci store. It says carbonated spring water. Hopefully it is. And let's take a sip. Yeah, it has bite and everything. Oh yeah, cheers. Cheers, folks. Let's see, what else were we gonna get into here? What were we talking about? Let's see. What are your thoughts on those lights you saw? Oh yeah, so very strange, bro. One of the weirdest experiences, and I've talked about it. And I'm gonna talk about it more in my second Bluff Creek video that I'm still having to do like some voice work on. I'm new to doing that style of videos, so bear with me. Yeah, it's like these energy levels. Last night I tried, but the fam upstairs, my fam upstairs, they were up and blast. It was Friday in LA, so music was blast. It was loud. So ain't no voice recording going on. I need a soundproof studio. I think it was very, very strange. My buddy Rowdy Kelly, Bluff Creek Project, he wanted to do, he's like, man, we should do like a reenactment, but everyone kind of wanted to do like some tests, see what it could have done. And he's the guy to do that with too. But everyone got caught up, doing their own thing, and no one wanted to go like, yeah, whatever. You saw strange lights, and I shared it. Luckily, I was able to share what I recorded that next night with people, and people were tripping out, and yeah, the smell that came with it. So there was a foul, really foul smell. It was amazing. It's one of my, because I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I've smelled some weird stuff in the woods before, but nothing to where I was like, oh, this is it. But this experience, since the light thing was going on, and we hear more about Bigfoot and strange lights or crafts and stuff like that, and I'm totally open to it. And before, I'm not sure if you know, but I used to live in the southern part of Humboldt County. I lived in different parts of Humboldt County. Now, in the southern part, I was in the hills. I got to keep an eye out on some of these folks walking by. Um, yeah, I was living up in the hills there, and I've talked about my sighting up there on the property. We used to get orbs almost every night. I would sit on my deck. We had a huge deck. It was a huge piece of property, private property. Our neighbors we knew well. They were all at a distance and stuff, and sometimes we could hear each other and stuff like that. But no, our neighbor, who was a Shasta girl from Mount Shasta and reps Oregon as well, but and is my queen's good friend, very good friend. She would see it too. And anyway, these lights would pop on, and I would do live streams, and I would sit there. Luckily I had service, and I would go live. And a lot of times you wouldn't be able to see anything because there's no street lights up there. We're off grid, and these orbs would appear, and I would just describe what was happening. And a lot of times, most of the time, we get them on video, but it just looks like a light in 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 the dark. So it's just like this little bright dot. It looks almost like it's a star. Looks like a star. It reminded me of stars, but they would be at ground level, and I would see them move and take off into the sky. I've seen them float through the woods, and a lot of times they would be kind of stationary. They would sit in one position, or they would pop up in the similar areas, but then they would start like bouncing around and do all this crazy stuff. I've heard people talk about geological things, have maybe stuff there because there was a huge rock nearby, and sometimes they would pop up on the rock too. A massive rock. It was a huge rock there, and that was actually on a neighboring property, but we could totally get to it if we wanted to. And yeah, people would sometimes ask too, because I never wanted to hike to them, because then I would have to go through my neighbor's property. It would be a mission, but it wasn't far. And one time, a couple times, they appeared as orange. Most of the times they'd be white into blue, like a star, and then they would change multicolor sometimes. And you could see stars do that sometimes too. It looks like they're changing multicolors. And but the orange ones appeared a couple times. I remember one time vividly, I was sleeping. It's like 3 a.m. I got up for some reason, and I look outside, and we're on it was a 2-story house. And down below the hill, it was weird how the property was set up, but down there was a hill below us, and we had access down there. It looked like a fire was starting. Fires, California, especially when you're out in the, anywhere. You could be in the city or out in the woods. Now that we know, we had these huge fires here recently. But yeah, out there is a big thing, and I was like, oh my god, is it a fire? Like, what's going on? And I looked closer, and it just looked like a mass and then off to the side of this mass that looked like a fire were a bunch of little, I called them like sprites. It was a bunch of like little orbs, and it was just all kind of just moving around. I was like, what the hell? And I got video of that. And I was taking video, and then it's posted on the channel. It was the weirdest thing. And I think my cat jumped on me or something like that, and kind of stopped me from the recording. But yeah, a lot of recordings of these strange lights. So it just reminded me of and I've seen them in different places. Outside of Willow Creek, camping out there, over at the cabin in Trinity County. We're up in the hills there, and just across the hills from us in Weaverville, these same lights would pick up, turn on, and I picked them up on camera and everything. All those videos are posted here, and for a lot of people, they're pretty boring. I think, they weren't like, oh, like bunch of views and likes and stuff, but it's a thing, so I always keep an eye out for the orbs or the lights, strange lights and stuff like that. And quite a bit of that happened this time at Bluff Creek, and I explained some of it in the video. But yeah, I thought it was one of these things is what it reminded me of, because the way it was getting bright and dimming, and turning off, and I was just sitting in my tent, like had the everything like kind of covered, and my phone right there because I didn't want my phone to be bright, because it would have made it obvious that there's a light inside of the tent. So I was kind of keeping it under the light under my sleeping bag and stuff. And I was just recording, and then it would turn off for a bit. So I would stop the recording because I didn't have much data left on my phone. So I was trying to save as much and record as much as possible. And I got quite a bit of footage of it. I think ultimately, and let's see. All right, are we back? It was showing that I was buffering here. There's quite a few people camped in the campground, but I could tell like the closest people to me when they would move and they were sleeping and people try to get comfortable. I could tell the person next to me was in a air mattress, so anytime they would move, I could hear that, and the video recorded some of that. But there was other stuff I was sensing and hearing, and it sounded like steps. And I'm not saying it's Bigfoot at all, but it just sounded like something was out there. Obviously, was out there. And then these small, like it sounded like small twigs breaking and stuff. And then the smell again, I'm gonna describe it. It smelled like a city sewer, and there is no like sewers around there. The closest thing would be the outhouse, the famous Louse Camp outhouse, which has a sunroof on it. The top of the outhouse is completely like blown off. It looks like almost like if Bigfoot came into the campground and just like lifted the top of the porta potty. I mean, and and I wonder if that happened to someone. That'd be good to. I'd like to know that. And if you ever use it, that's probably what you think when you look up outside of that thing. Is like, oh, you hope that a Bigfoot doesn't just come peering in while you're taking care of your business. Anyway, so yeah, I think they were orbs, and there was some other footage that I got with the game camera several on the first night I got there. So the first night I got there, it was just Tate and I went furthest away from the campground, furthest away from Tate. I don't want to sleep next to Tate or near Tate. So I went furthest away. And on the bumper of my truck, I set up my game cam pointing towards. There's a trail back there. I had never really gone, and I explored quite a bit of it this time around in this latest video that I posted from Bluff Creek. And if anyone hasn't seen it, you can please check it out. Uh, there was let's see, there was these lights that had popped up on the last few seconds because the camera's set up to record for 1 minute increments. And what up, Mad Pack's forest friend? There's Dragonfly. Hopefully I keep my train of thought here. There was these lights that had popped up, so I didn't get to review this till after. I'm getting better at reviewing some of my stuff while I'm there, but a lot of the times I don't, like the game cam, I won't review stuff till I get back, and you could go through the stuff and see if whatever you got anything. But so yeah, I found this weird anomaly that happened, and it's an anomaly in my eyes because behind this trail there's it's nothing but forest, because I went to explore it like the following day or so, and had found out or had been reminded that there was a recent Bigfoot sighting from some local natives, and there were these kids that were supposedly swimming way further down the creek from the campground. And further down the creek, there's Old Bluff Creek Road, which is behind Louse Camp. Now that I've learned about all this area, you could keep going far back into there, and you're way above the creek. If you fall from up there, you probably won't make it. That's how high it is. And I'm thinking it's this particular area that I found there because I just felt it, and it just seemed like the perfect spot. And there were some rocks around, and there was some branch. What we're finding a lot at Bluff Creek is tree breaks, the small little trees, but the tops are all broken off. Now, I don't know. It could be bears and stuff, but we're finding a whole lot of this. Other people are finding it, a lot of it in Bluff Creek. And there was some of those trees there, and there was the trident tree, which I think is what happens when they break the top of the tree. It's like what we call the FIM technique in cannabis growing. You pinch the top, and then two more come out. But the FIM, there's a way you pinch it, and you get three. But little secret. So I think that's what happens is when they break the top, then you get two more come out, and you get the trident or the fork. And there was one right there, so I'm like, this got to be the spot. But anyway, the Bigfoot threw a rock at the kids, but of course, didn't hit them. And the kids freaked out, went back to camp, and the first person they saw was a new friend of mine who's a friend of Todd Samples from Bigfoot Wilderness Research. Salute to Todd. They recently released a new documentary as well about Willow Creek, and they show Eric over at the Willow Creek Museum. Super cool. And so Todd and I got to spend a lot of time together because I was there for 2 weeks. The first week, there was a whole bunch of people that came through, a bunch of cool people and new people that I had met. But then Todd I had met before when Alex came to do the STM stuff. I was there during all the recording and stuff. So this time Todd and we just hung out for a bit. I think even before that I had met Todd once before as well, and he found those amazing snow prints up on the Go Road, and that's been featured on several documentaries. You can see that on his channel, Bigfoot Wilderness Research. And so he brought his buddy, and his friend is the first person those kids seen on their way to the campground after this encounter. And they explained to him what happened. And so I got to hang out with this friend and got the details from him about what happened with the kids and everything. And I think I explained that in the first video from the Bluff Creek in July. So you could check that out if you're interested once again. And I'm glad I'm able to elaborate more on it because there's just so much that happens, and not all the information gets out there. But so it was back behind there. And so those lights, off to one side there is a road, but it's not where these lights popped up. And no one was coming out or around at that hour. It was like I think 1 a.m. or so when the camera went off. And these lights just started, and it looked like car headlights at first, which is interesting because let's see, there was another day, it was an evening where me and another lady who was camping there as well, a part of our group, had noticed these red flickering lights on the other side of Bluff Creek. I didn't mention anything. She mentioned it, and I'm like, yep, I'm seeing that too. Right after the red flickering lights, which were rectangular in shape, on one side of the creek, I noticed what looked like car headlights coming down the creek, which would be impossible. The sun was about setting, and so the moon was out as well. And I don't know if we had a full moon that night, but Tate felt it was a moonlight, but it couldn't have been moonlight. It was way too bright, and a car can't drive down the creek like that. So again, I was just thinking maybe it's one of these lights, these weird lights. And there's footage from last year, game cam also, of a little weird orb light that I got, and I got lots of video of it. I've shared it several times. It's just kind of dancing around there, all weird, just like the orbs do. And I describe it as like a wiffle ball with air under it, kind of like has this weird, like jerky motion to it. It's funny. And yeah, man. So that with the smell and everything, pretty weird. And then the lights on that game cam. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff happening at Laos camp, and I'm excited to see what else is going on. But yeah, man, I think the thing to do there is to spend as much time as possible anywhere, right? If you could spend more time, of course, more will possibly happen. But yeah, I was lucky to do the 2 weeks, and it was a bummer that I didn't make it up to Mount Hood and Bumping Lake with Tate. But hopefully next time we'll see. Yeah, thanks for asking. And then, yeah, I've been wanting to elaborate on all that. It's just so much detail that happened there, and you're hearing a lot more people reporting these strange lights and stuff. And there was what was super cool is that from Flash of Beauty, what was it, Toby Johnson and his girl, I think they got there right after we left. because when I got back here from the trip, I seen soon after they had posted a video and they had all types of weird stuff happening, like sleep paralysis. The first night I got there, Tate Hieronymus mentioned it's just him and I there at Laos. He's like, dude, I had an episode of sleep paralysis last night. And I was like, whoa, all right, this is, but see, he doesn't think it has anything to do with anything. So to him, sleep paralysis is just some natural phenomenon and nothing to do with spirituality or you know other beings and energies and stuff like that. I don't know. He might And I shared my point of view of things. I think it's something. And then a few days later, I almost got taken into the sleep paralysis stuff during a daytime break. I decided to go take a break during the day, and my brother's here. Yes, let's see. Boom. What's up? Bless up, brother. The boss is here. Um, yeah, there was I was going into my tent daytime and I go and I lay face down with the zipper door open, my feet hanging out of the tent. I just wanted to lay down for a couple minutes. And I laid there, and before I know it, the sun started like hitting the tent. So that all that heat, woke me up. But at the same time, I felt that I was slipping into a sleep paralysis. And I was like, woo, almost got pulled into that one. So I was able to dodge that. And yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. So we read a Bigfoot report earlier out of the Sierras. If anyone missed that, you can check it out. And looks like my brother's taking the mop next door to the catalyst. Hopefully they didn't destroy the place. He's like, no, they didn't. Probably the first thing he does is check up on things there. I know the guy, that promoter is a really cool dude, good vibe. Yeah, let's see. Orbs, if actually the energy signature of the cryptid can use it to cross through portals. Yeah. And that's what they're mentioning a whole lot, it seems like, on this American Sasquatch documentary is the portals is coming up. So orbs and portals. Not sure if you've seen that documentary yet, Nighthawk, but Politis put that out, and I hear you could see it on what is it, Amazon? What else is it? Several other platforms. I'm sure you could check it out. Here's $15, or is it 18? Kaiju Ninja told us last time. He gave us all the prices and everything on that. Yo, yeah, MK Ultra in the house. And I'll give you the right hand. I'm left-handed, so everything I kind of do left-handed, but I know there's certain things you're not supposed to do with the left. And I'm excited for MK Ultra here in the chat, y'all. He is he's got some stuff coming up. He's actually been featured in some stuff recently. And it sounds like he's got some stuff brewing, and he's been living it. So he's out there in the sticks. There's certain people I've mentioned before, like Camping with Sasquatch, CWS, the homie CB. Y'all be hating on CB, but CB's living it. They're out there in the field, like basically living there. And that's how it was when I was up north. That's how when I first got into this, it was like I would walk outside and it's like the woods are right there. So it's like, you're in the field already. And I can't wait. We will be back in the field like that, folks. I know it and I feel it. And I'm excited. Just can't say too much. But yeah, like our place in Oregon, it backs up. It's a big space right near a big lake, right near the Bigfoot trap. And the back of the place there backs up. It's all BLM. So perfect for anything. And yeah, we do bears, mountain lion come down. Talked about the mountain lion that showed up at the neighbor's door. Yeah, he was laying out, had his door open, and he said his dog was cowering for some reason. And he looked at the screen door. There's a mountain lion there looking at him. Sheesh. So let's see. I think we should take a look around Cali really quick. And I guess we could do, let's start with Los Angeles. Why not? Yeah, there's a cool YouTube channel that actually They have a live feed, and that's what I've been trying to tell my brothers, that we should put up a live feed camera, like exactly like this, pointed at the city. And I think this dude's on the east side of town. So if I were to look outside towards the city, I'd have like this view here too. You can see at the bottom right there, there's City Hall. And let's see, we should probably press play. So we get the live feed. There we go. Let's see. Boom. There we go. Ooh, you might get little fast movers zipping by. I just seen something zip by. And Tina C, thank you for sending the messages and all the messages you send. I love it. I wish people would share more. You know, I talk about the post section on my channel. People could share pictures, links. Aussie Ange, cheers to you. Good to see you, Aussie Ange. Yeah, anyone just coming in? We did do a Bigfoot report, so we're kind of just hanging out now. About an hour in, and we're gonna just take a little cruise around Cali. All right, and I promise you, you're riding with your boy BD, so we're safe. Even though we ride or die out here, I know a lot of you ride or die. So yeah, this is what it looks like right now. Not too bad. You see a little funk around there. It's not exactly clear, but it's clearer than most days. I'll take a day like this. And yeah, it's been what, like 70? It's crazy. It's been warm. It's like we're in December. Let's see here. Y'all see, I ain't joking. There we go. 70. Boyle Heights. Boiling in Boyle Heights. And things do get hot out here. Not only the attitudes. Geez, let me tell you, Boyle Heights. A lot of action out here. And that's right across from us right here. We're in East LA. And then if I walk across the street here, we're in Boyle Heights. I'm in between East LA and Boyle Heights all day, folks. But anyway, 70. Jeez Louise. Poncho, what are you doing over there, bro? Here, let's get out of here. We're going to make folks upset. Smog used to be horrible in LA in the 70s and 80s and 90s. Oof. So you think they've cleared it up? What's have you noticed some changes? Is the air quality better? There's a whole lot of spraying. I don't think they were spraying maybe in the 90s, but I did see some old footage. Maybe they were spraying way before that too. We just didn't know. Cali loves you too, Aussie Ange, and all the Aussies out there. It's very, some of it, I guess we have areas here that would probably, the Aussies would like. It's like, oh yeah, this is like back home. For sure. We got some hot areas here and just not as deadly creatures as y'all have out there. Let's take a cruise. Can y'all hear the Tibetan bowls playing in the background? We're going to have a quick look up from, let's see. Oh, all of a sudden, it's not showing it. Fox webcams have been kind of weird. A lot of them have been down, I guess, for maintenance lately. And I thought we had our Mount Wilson cam up. Hey, Mr. Wilson. There we go. There it be. I like the circle. So this is up from the Mount Wilson cam. And up there on Mount Wilson, there's an observatory. Yes. Probably left over from the old world. But yeah, you can see that layer of funk that I'm talking about. It's kind of dusting us, hot boxing us. Is that what the chat looks like? Hopefully with some fine cannabis smoke. Let's see, Riverside and IE are still bad with smog. The Inland Empire For those wondering where the IE is, the OC, the IE. SB, San Bernardino, San Bernardino. It could be a tough one to say, San Bernardino. So a little view from Mount Wilson. Love it. Let's hop on over. Check it out. We have a Big Sur live stream cam. Anyone familiar with Big Sur, California? Anyone been there? Big Sur is awesome. I have not squatched it before, but I would love to. I'd love to go Bigfooting there, but I did go for just kicking back, which is amazing. An amazing place there. There is some missing 411 stories out of there. One of my childhood friends told me a creepy thing. He was driving a motorbike. He's a small dude, smaller than I am, Filipino homie, and he was driving to Big Sur to meet up with some folks at a campground. He was on his motorcycle, and he said the weirdest creature popped out on the road. He said it wasn't a Bigfoot though. It was something weird, some sort of weird creature, and it looked creepy and scary and scared the hell out of him. Big Sur. So where is our Big Sur cam? Now there it is. So if you head a little north of LA, I believe this is Monterey County. And Tina C says, "Oh hell yeah, it was smog looking like fog." Dope. Yeah, Big Sur smoking a bunch of. Oh well, you know what? Sometimes it's been a long time. I mean, maybe what, 20 years? How long has it been since I've done such a thing? But sometimes sometimes they're good because they're all resonated and everything. And I hear, La Cucaracha, La Cucara. I hear that's what that song's about, right? There's some sort of connection there. Trust me. And yeah, look at that view from Big Sur. And yeah, you have some of that coast. See, there is probably real coastal fog. Out here, I wouldn't trust it. Yeah, don't tell me that, Mr. Dallas Rains. He's a local, old school forecaster. Always has an amazing tan, like he was at the salon most of the day. Dallas Rains. All right. We're gonna head over to Yosemite. We're gonna do this. We're gonna run all the way up California, folks. So bear with us. I promise you will be safe. And I'm watching my back here at the shop too. I gotta watch out here. Okay, we have choices. We could do Half Dome. Let's see. The missing 411 ground zero location, Yosemite National Park, folks. We could do Half Dome. We could do El Capitan, High Sierra, Yosemite Falls, or Wawona Dome. Do High Sierra? All right. High Sierra. High Sierra. I like that name, Sierra, too. Beautiful name. And a beautiful view. It looks just like unreal. Look at them Sierras. Oh, man. Where is Bigfoot? He's somewhere around there. Probably on the valley floor. Raiding campgrounds. All right. Touching base with Yosemite. What's up? Love it there. And Tina, I yet to go to Kings Canyon and Sequoia Kings Canyon. I know that's where you had your experience in sighting, and yeah, I would like to just at least go salute General Sherman. You know. All right. So from the Sierras, we're gonna bump up. We're gonna bump up to Tahoe since we were there a little earlier, and check out some of these slopes. Like a flyover on. Look at that. Is that a fly? All right, let's head on over to this camera up here because I like this view. Boom. There we is. There we is. And there's Lake Tahoe. Where is Tahoe Tessie? Yeah, I heard it. They opened up, what was it? Mountain High. Big Bear's open. What are some of the other resorts out here in Southern Cali? Now open for your skiing needs. There's Scully Pop. Y'all like to hang out and listen to some reads? Check out the homie Scully Pop. And there is the man of the hour. Oh, yeah, Bigfoot. And of course, he's not visible per usual. But we have the homie
Florida Real UFO. And you can find them at Florida Real UFO 73. To the office, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Florida Real UFO. You guys and gals, if you like orbs, strange objects, this is the channel to check out. And feel free to post your channel. Maybe I'm waiting for some of the moderators to kind of post some of the stuff I've been mentioning. Usually, you know, where's Blazer at? He's pretty good on the hot queue. Someone post your channels, folks. We're here to network and chop it up. Yeah, no, he captures amazing. We were just talking a whole lot about orbs. So if you want to ask a question about orbs, yeah, you could ask me. Feel free to ask me, and I'd love to share whatever I've experienced, whatever knowledge I have. But Florida Real UFOs captures them almost nightly, if not nightly. And he shares it. He posts it. He has the receipts. You know, it's not like a lot of the information we're hearing is just, what do they call it, conjecture, or just I want to see it too, right? And so what? We got AI and all that. I think our BS meters can decipher whether something's, for the most part. There's stuff that, you know, I've learned years later, oh, it wasn't real. But I think we could trust our community here, right? For the most part. But it's cool to fact check and make sure everything's lined up. And I think, yeah, his stuff is just amazing. Blows my mind. And he gets, you know, his channel should be way bigger. There should be more views on his stuff. But I think, you know, we're in the same boat here. We're in a special category on YouTube. Yes, he's got the real deal. Holyfield. Yes, so glad you popped in. And Aussie Ange, I know you like orbs and strange objects and stuff. Y'all come check out Florida Real UFO. And I believe our good friend John P. in Portugal, shares some of his videos too. So I think that's super cool of him that he gives him permission to repost his videos and all that. You know, you folks, you could remix stuff, you know, you could remix if you're interested in like kind of reposting someone's video or something. Like, there's ways to do it. And if not, then I don't know yet. There's other ways too, but yeah, remixing and I like doing stuff like that, taking clips, kind of, you know, just taking advantage of some of these tools YouTube has. don't know how to upgrade your videos to, like, if you're watching a YouTube video, you could go down to the settings and fix the quality on it. You could go up to, what is it, 2016 now, 2014, some high number. It's amazing. And so yeah, maybe get into the habit of doing that for your videos. Maybe you're wondering why has these videos been looking so blurry, and maybe a little fix like that might be able to help you. Yeah, you see, anyone could share his videos, and of course, tag them. You know, let them know, hey, this is who it's from, and da da da. If you have that information, the Olympics were held there. Awesome. Was it the breakdancing event? They won't be having that. I hear they're not having breakdancing anymore at the Olympics. Bummer. Let's see here. Let's get out of Tahoe. No Tahoe Tessie sightings, but that's all right because we're gonna head up to Mount Shasta. Yeah, right up, not too far up from Tahoe. Let's check for little people, UFOs, Lemurians. What else? Ep- ep- yes, I know. Yes, and who else is out there? The Count of Saint Germain. Strange hippies. Let's see, where are you? There you are. Mount Shasta. Y'all ever want to peep any of these live streams? Head on over to the sites that we're checking out here. And the Douglas cam is back. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. So good. Boo. So the Douglas cam is not back. I was checking it out. They did bring it back. I seen they took away the AI on YouTube again. They keep, I don't know, maybe they're upgrading it, but they keep bringing it back. They take it away, bring it back, take it away. What's up with that? And I can't do polls anymore. I haven't, they take those options away. They bring it back. Sometimes I could do polls and sometimes I can't. What the hell? Want some balloons, anyone? Let's see, can we do balloons, camera? Are you doing balloons today? No, how about some rain? Whatever. Where were we going? We're going to Mount Shasta, but got spun. We can make it. We can make it. There it is. Damn it. Well, I guess not. We're stuck on this. Look, we're stuck on the Douglas cam. So whatever. We're skipping Shasta. We just went through the Douglas portal, not Mel's hole. Here we go. Get your 20% off. Whatever. All right. We got one more. One more. And we're going to head to Del Norte County. For those that don't know, you might know where Pelican Bay is. Yikes. Yeah, that's where Del Norte is. And they have the Smith River cam up there. It's just a good area for Sasquatch. A watch. Refresh this. We'll turn the volume down, although the audio of running water is super soothing. But I have not figured out if my audio is still echoing. They're playing different howls, wolf howls in the background here at the shop we were checking out. I don't know what's on now, but yeah, here we are up in the redwoods. So cool. We made it to the top of California, nice and safe. We got a Bigfoot report off. We got to hang out a little bit, got to chop it up in the chat. Don't forget the meteor shower meteor showers tonight. So what were these green meteors my brother and I seen just the other night? It was super cool. And a waving to Scully Pop. You know, I go in and I lurk in your stream, Scully. I don't always chop it up, but I stop by, hit the like, check out Bourbon Street, and just silently send good vibes to everyone there. But yeah, no, I want to thank you all for hanging out. And yeah, so we gave some details on the giveaway. Check us out over on Instagram for more details. Check out the shop spread on the channel. If you want to do a little shopping, get yourself a little BD slap. We got stickers there as well. I'm not sure the quality. I'm gonna have to purchase one of my own stickers. Check out the quality of that. See if they're like you know, for outdoor or maybe indoor stickers. Because it'd suck if you guys slap it somewhere outside and it's not an outdoor sticker and it just whatever goes to the fade. Oh my goodness, look at that shot there. That's a nice one. Beautiful Smith River, water looking nice and clear. I'm sure it's cold as heck. And let's see, we're gonna see who else is popping on live today. I didn't check the YouTube. Let's see. Oh, P&W Rush just posted a video. I see Bigfoot Banter's on live. I don't see anyone else. Kind of why I jumped on here too. I was like, no one's live. All right, let's jump on here really quick. Yeah, much love to you all. Let's. Oh, see, there's might be a redwood right here, right in front of us. Could be wrong. But yeah, we're gonna head on out. And yeah, I was talking about the music earlier. So hopefully, if that's true, what I think I happened with all that I was explaining, I might be able to play some sets here really soon on YouTube as well. And thank you to everyone watching on any other platform. Have a blessed rest of your weekend. We're gonna try and hit our outro here, which always takes me a second. I've been noticing during the end of the live streams when I hit my outro and the live stream loads up to YouTube, it sometimes chops. Nice zoom there. Sometimes chops the end part of the stream out, and so you don't get to see the outro. What the heck is that about? Anyway, here it is. Peace, folks.